Welcome back, everyone. How are we all? It emerged over the last couple of days, or it seemed to be the last couple of days, that Tyson Fury had been filmed on a bit of a sesh in Morecambe in a pub. He'd been ejected from the pub by a couple of doormen, and then it was sort of photographed and seen. He was having a little play around on the pavement and that sort of stuff. Not particularly surprising news at all, if I'm honest. But what really stuck out to me, now I saw this, I first heard about this on Talksport's. It came up on my YouTube feed. It was a piece by Talksport who were commentating on this, and this was the first I'd heard about it. Now, people have done videos on this since. Joe Stunner's covered this. A few other people have covered this, as they're going to do. You know, it's news, isn't it? It's boxing news surrounding Tyson Fury. But what sort of stuck in my mind to this, which kind of just made me a bit fucking angry, if I'm honest, is Talksport's coverage of it. So I'm going to read you the transcript of Jim White from Talksport commentating on this. So I'm just going to read you this. This is the transcript. All right. So Jim White, on the subject of boxing, you've probably seen in the newspapers, and I've seen on social media everywhere, that Tyson Fury in Morecambe, where he lives, up in the northwest, on social media, it's emerged Tyson Fury looking a bit worse for wear and being escorted out of a Morecambe bar over this weekend. Footage then showed him stumbling to his knees and falling down on the pavement. So you get some smart ass. Where are you? So you get some smart ass out on the pavement with a mobile phone who decides, I'll clean up here and take some pictures of Tyson, worse for wear. Unfortunately, as you say, the world we live in, someone's also always going to do that. These people are vultures. Vultures, says Jim. These people are vultures. They hang about on street corners for such a moment as that. Now, the fucking hypocrisy from Jim White. So, Talksport, obviously taking our moral high ground and being the virtuous channel that they are, what do? When this vulture has taken this footage of Tyson Fury being ejected from a pub and having a little fiddle around on the pavement, what do the virtuous Talksport do? You know, do they not report on this? Do they not, use the footage that was taken by the vulture? No. Talksport take the footage taken by the vulture and run a story on it. Just fucking absolute fucking hypocrisy. And then the hypocrisy continues, because if you go back to when Anthony Joshua had his kind of sort of rather odd outburst in the ring in the second Usyk fight, born from just pure frustration that he couldn't beat Alexander Usyk. He felt he'd done everything and it still wasn't good enough. So out of pure frustration and a moment of sort of probably little self-control, he went on a bit of an odd rant on the microphone, through the belts. But Talksport were the first channel to go in hard on Anthony Joshua over that and completely lambast him. Yet you get Tyson Fury on the pavement outside a pub being ejected from the pub by doormen who go on the defence of Tyson Fury, as you'd expect, because they are and always have been very much camp Tyson Fury, haven't they? So they don't want to go in too hard on Tyson. They don't want to, kick a man down, as it were. So they almost go in full support of Tyson Fury on this. And listen, I'm not going to go in on Tyson Fury in this. And I'll tell you the reason I'm not going to go in on Tyson Fury is because I'm not surprised at all. If you think this is the only time Tyson Fury, who's got a history of alcohol abuse and drug abuse, if you think this is the only time that Tyson Fury has got off his nut since the Usyk defeat, then you're a bit naive in my books, because, this is Tyson Fury. This is the man. This is what he does. Unfortunately, done it this time in front of a camera, and someone was there to pick up on it. But, yeah. Now, I was on a show. I was on G-Man's show, G-Man's Live, along with Joe Stunner, and the topic of the live was, and this was pre-Fury Usyk. This was pre that. So the topic of the show was, do you think Tyson Fury's going to turn up? So there was a lot of speculation. Now, a lot of people didn't believe that fight was actually going to go ahead. Now, if you were fearing that fight wasn't going to go ahead, and there was no reports of Fury out on the sesh prior to that. If you're going to doubt that was going to go ahead, then doubt this will go ahead. If you were dubious about that one, be even more dubious about the return, because leading up to Fury Usyk 1, you had a Fury that still believed beyond all doubt that was thrown out there he was the best fighter in the world, best fighter to ever walk the planet almost. Now you've got a Fury that knows he's not even close to that, and he's going into a return fight with a guy that beat him up the first time. So if you had a bit of doubt surrounding him going and turning up for the first fight, then there'll be even less chance he'll show up for this one. So don't be at all surprised if this doesn't go ahead because Fury, via whatever excuse, doesn't make this or doesn't show up. But this video was more about just the fucking disdain of Jim White. Now, Jim White, what credentials that man has that sort of sees him fit and qualifies to comment on boxing, I don't know, because out of all the large platforms out there and all the people reporting on boxing, he is the least qualified and knows the least about this sport at all. But just the fucking absolute fucking hypocrisy of a man that says that the guy, the member of the public who filmed this, was a vulture, and yet you take the fucking story and make a story on the back of it. The fuck does it make you? There's and there are some absolutely honest journalists out there. Yes, they do exist. They're few and far between, but they do exist. But for the majority of the time, journalists are just absolute fucking scum, aren't they, for the most time? Let's be honest with you. But that just absolutely stuck in my fucking throat as Jim White. Just what? Because the guy doesn't hold a card for Associated Press and he took the photos before one of you lot did. He's a vulture, but then you take the story from the vulture and you run a story on it. Fucking brilliant. Anyway, as always, I'm going to ask again, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. That was it. I'll see you all soon.